of a new assault on the port. They're trying to take us out once and for all. The strange thing is, we're seeing movement from both the KG and Metalhead fronts. It's like they're working together. We've got to repel this assault or we're through. I hate to do this to you, but I'm putting you on the front line. You're my go-to guy. Stop any KG or Metalhead units from reaching this place. If we lose this one, we're history.
You got it!
Jak.
You're just in time for the party.
Watch your tongue! You got it!
On the scope, you got company. More blips on the scope, you got company.
Focus on the scope. You got company.
Just above my head, Jack.
You did it, Jak. You stopped the assault.
Dexter, my hero! This city is too dangerous. We need our own little place in the country. A little pink house with a white picket fence and a fireplace and a big 4-poster bed for me and a little osel run on the side of the house for you.
Aw, are you worried about me, my little Desi Boo?
Of course, my itty-bitty whisker puss.
Oh, please. Will you two take it outside?
You need a hug, Jack, because we got plenty to go around.
Rumor is, you two are the only hope we've got to reach the catacombs. I've programmed the gun course to simulate some of the new enemy tactics. Want to try it out? Not bad shooting, Dark Boy. Here's a nice boomstick for your sidekick, baby. Go give him hell, boys. Then come back, and I'll scratch you behind your ears.
Corn will get us out of this mess.
We may have a way to reach Freedom HQ. Jinx here has a plan.
Hey, Jackie boy! Long time no see. I think we got a boomer of a plan here. You know those nasty blast bots you seen around? Well, I captured one. Don't ask. I'll show you the scars later. I've rigged that baby with a remote control, and even more explosives than the standard package.
Jack, link it to the remote and direct that blast bot into the KG area. If you can get the blast bot close enough to the Freedom League border and blow it up, it should punch a hole in the defensive line there and allow us to hook up with our comrades.
Incoming targets! It's a big attack! Get those guns blazing! We need backup! Blow that sucker away! Sort it out later! I've got a clear shot! Open fire! Blow that sucker away! Break 'em! Alert! Alert! You're under attack! I've got a clear shot! Shoot 'em all now! Sort 'em out later!
Great job! We can link up with the Northern Front now. I'll get on the horn to HQ and give them the good news. You're the man, Jack. You are the man.
peeps and cronies? That's right, the Daxtonator is back in the building.
Daxter, Jak, you did it!
It's about time you two got here. What took you so long?
Sorry, we only had a war in the way.
Great work, Jak. Let me be the first to officially apologize for the city.
Forget about it. I've got my own interest in this.
Well, what we know right now is there's a huge dark planet builder bearing down on us all. How much time we have, no one can guess. If it is rogue precursor technology, then the only way to destroy it is with more precursor technology. And that lies at the bottom of the catacombs.
Also, the large number of eco-crystals being moved about can mean only one thing. Someone is trying to awaken vast precursor technology.
I think Viger's behind it. Or Errol. Or maybe...
Oh, wait till you hear about my adventures in the wasteland. So there I was, facing a whole brood of slobbering metalheads, when all of a sudden...
Uh-oh.
It looks like a large-scale assault. Multiple targets inbound. You up for some action, Jak?
Look who you're talking to. Let's rock and roll, Dax.
Targets inbound! Look out!
shooting! Find your way back here, Jak.
moves, my boy. You're the best man we've got to lead an expedition into the catacombs.
Please, please, let us not be too hasty. Are you sure you want this dark eco freak contaminating the hallowed halls of our glorious precursors? I should lead the expedition myself.
We're tired of your scheming, Vigor.
I've got the answer you're looking for. My precursor monks have given me the knowledge to turn on the planetary defense grid, if you beg me to do so.
Jack's always gotten us through thick and thin. I'm with him.
Here, here!
You washed up, vegan.
Vigor! It's Vigor, you idiot!
Whatever.
Count Vigor, I hereby dissolve the City Council and strip you of your title, command, and all privileges. Now get out of my sight.
What? How dare you! I offered you mercy, but now you will all burn in the precursor fires of creation. I swear it.
That was one hell of an attack wave. We can't continue to repel such large assaults forever. That floating war factory has got to be shut down. The problem is, the factory is shielded and has gate codes on every access point. Most old KG door ciphers were kept hidden in the main system at the power room. If you can break into the system, you may be able to unlock the war factory doors to get inside.
Onan says the eco-grid in the power room could help you. But to open the old power room, you must find the junction box in the sewer. Personally, I think you're crazy to go down there. But, good luck.
You got your butt kicked.
guys keep the surprises coming. The power room door is now open, Jak.
Remember this place? I sure miss good old Vin.
Yeah, he was a good guy. A bit crazy.
Hey, who you calling crazy? I can't help it if the world is out to get me.
Vin! Wait a minute. Is that you?
Yeah, it's me. Well, actually, no, it's not. I'm a multi-layered, hyperlinking, digimemic, bioconstruct, superclocked mega-memory construct, baby.
Did you understand a word he said?
When the city was overrun by metalheads, before they got to me, I dumped my brain into the eco grid. Everything's great now. Those monsters can't get me in here. Or can they?
Listen, Ben, I'm happy you're whatever you are. But right now, I need to get into the war factory, but the doors are sealed. We think the code to open the doors is hidden in this system.
It is.
Really?
Positive.
Can you get it for us?
Negative.
Why not?
Because if you have half a brain cycle, you'd know that those access codes are guarded by the central system. Ancient, nasty circuits in there. Even we bit brains can't nibble around there without getting our butts erased.
Just get us close.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's your death. If you fail, I can always use a companion in here. Oh, the fun we'll have.
Let's hope. Oh God, let's hope. It doesn't come to that.
When I put you into the system, the main security will slam down hard. It'll be up to you to beat the system and get out, or get eco-zapped for good. You check some?
Okay, Vin baby! Jack me in!
Wait for it, wait for it. Okay, input! No! All right! No! Look out! What a move!
There's the cipher!
got the cipher.
Great work, Jack. Just got the info beamed here. That cipher key will unlock the war factory doors. We'll get on it right away and get back to you.
Listen, Ven, we've got things to do, but we'll keep in touch. We promise.
Out of my way. We got a war to fight. For the car.
Help me!
Well, the storm's really churning the sand. Scanners show a few new artifact sightings. You two up for some rough riding?
Sure. I can race with the best of them.
Good. Take the vehicle and bring us back some booty. You know the drill. Get to the artifacts first and they're yours to claim. Wastelander right. Go get 'em!
Find the last artifact, Jak!
Jak, the hollow cube! That's one of the items we need for the forest! Good work! Keep looking for more!
Jak, this is Sig. I hear you're in the market for eco-crystals. Well, I know where one is, but it won't be a cakewalk. In other words, we've got some serious metalhead hunting to do. I'll meet you at the Metalhead Desert Nest. I'm counting on you.
Keeping people alive out here, keeping them full of hope, it can be daunting.
I'd say you've made a good life here.
You too must make a life, Jak. Take your destiny into your own hands. Look, sand cannot keep a shape by itself, but add water, and it becomes malleable. Fate can be such if you add the right element.
Eco.
Our minds think alike. My monks say the world is coming to an end, but I am a survivor. I say we live on long after this world dies. Be ready. You are shaping up to be one of my finest warriors, and I'll need you for the trials ahead. I mustn't lose you, like I lost my son.
You had a child?
Long ago. But much has been sacrificed in this war so that others could live. Anyway, it matters not. We're having serious trouble with marauders lately. I want you to take a vehicle and hunt down their warrior patrols. Go and make war your own.
Predators have attacked one of our artifact digs and stolen a very important item. We think they may have taken it to their stronghold. We would be most grateful if you find that outpost and retrieve it. We'll make it worth your while, I promise. And you too, Orange Lightning. We are grateful for your help. It is possible I may have misjudged you too. That artifact is called the Precursor Prism. It will be of use to you. Please, keep it as a sign of our gratitude.
There you are. I was beginning to think you chickened out. I saw an eco crystal in this place, and it's yours if you want it. Trouble is, metalheads have been spotted here en masse. But we wouldn't want those nasty boys to just move back in here without a welcoming party, would we? Let's go give them a big surprise. baby! Baby, I love the smell of burnt metal here. This is good practice for when the spit hits the fan. And trust me, it's coming.
What's Deimos got to do with Haven City, Sig?
None of your business.
What was all that spying again? Huh?
Let's just say Deimos lost a little something in the city and he wanted me to fight. What do you care, man? Haven folk are a bunch of weaklings, you know that. They'd already lost the war before it started. Luckily, Deimos has a plan to make sure we all survive.
You're playing with people's lives.
Why not? They play with mine. Survival of the fittest, baby. I suggest you get with the program and be on the winning side.
And which side is that?
The one on top of the pile. Fortunately, it's gonna be a big pile.
Yeah, a big pile of shit. I caught this.
So now what?
Just keep your nose clean and stay sharp. I'll tell you when the action's coming.
Cleaver, I need to find some very special precursor artifacts, but I'm running out of time.
Wait a tick. I just traded a very rare artifact indeed to a nice band of metalheads. It was an ugly piece of hardware. Looked like a dog's breakfast to me. But those toothers paid handsomely. They seemed nice enough. Good ivories they had, you know, if you dig fangs and claws. I bet if you crank up that dunk, you and the offsider just might be able to catch him.
I'll drive. Jack, you get on the gun. Daxter, just get in, sit down, and shut up. Blow him away!
Open up on them!
Jak, you found another artifact for the forest ruins, but we are still missing the most important piece. Bring back the item you found, and we will try to find where the last piece is hidden. We must find out what that Daystar really is, and we believe the forest ruins may hold the answers.
I've been doing some research into the forest pillars. It seems they've been here for longer than any other known ruins, except for maybe the catacombs. Myth says these pillars were once linked to some type of planetary observation system. Very mysterious. Let's see if those items you found in the wasteland will activate and unlock their secrets.
I'm back being 10 metalheads this week.
approach the Astro Viewer, Time Warrior. Behold, the seed of our destruction.
What? Let me see! Is she hot?
We precursors built many worlds across the universe, shaping them with Eco into something good. But we were foolish. The Dark Makers were once precursors, but their exposure to Dark Eco changed them. They began twisting worlds, conquering life, and dark ages ensued. Now the Dark Ones have found your world and are coming to claim it for themselves.
Well, I could ruin your whole day!
I think this one's bigger than both of us.
There is but one hope left. You will find a planetary defense system hidden deep at the core of the planet. There is still a chance to save your world. I hope you are more successful than many planets whose fate has already been closed.
I heard. This is as we feared. We must get into those catacombs before that ship reaches this planet.
We got a big one this time, Jak. That decoder you found helped us decipher the gate key for the main KG war factory. We can get inside now, and we need our best people on the raid.
Oh, gee! I wonder who that might be.
There is a good chance that factory is doing more than just making deathbots.
I want to know who's behind it all. How are so many deathbots being made? Where are they getting the supplies and the eco? Something about this doesn't seem right.
Yeah, right into the hornet's nest. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, remind me when to laugh. Jack. We're clear. Kick. Let's move.
found some new friends to help me conquer this puny little planet.
You're talking to the Darkmakers.
It seems my digital self can communicate with these poor, tortured minds quite well. Oh, they're just like you and me, Jack. Well, me at least. They want a home, someone to call a friend. Destruction of all my ego. They volunteered to help me put this puny planet out of its misery.
You're in for a big surprise. The Darkmakers don't play nicely with others. Just ask the Metalheads.
I've been given the opportunity to wield a power even the Precursors cannot control. Don't fret. You won't live to see what I turn this little world into. Maybe a rock, or a floating puddle of slag, or nothing at all. Complete oblivion. So hard to choose.
I won't let you do this!
Give up, ego freak! You're just lucky. You cannot master machine, Jack. Change the universe, starting with this planet. This time,
We took it to that robot goon and kicked his nuts and bolts.
Errol got away, but we shut down his robot factory.
That's good, but it is troubling to see what Errol is doing. I fear he may be trying to awaken that terrible dark ship before we can destroy it.
Onan says the Precursors and Darkmakers have fought over worlds for as long as time has turned. It would not be the first time a planet was lost to those monsters. Well, it's not gonna be this planet. We've lasted this long. We've just gotta find a way to destroy that thing. The truth lies at the bottom of the catacombs. That's where I need to go.
Please help us. Errol is attacking the monk temple. He wants the secrets we have kept concerning the Dark Makers. Please hurry. If he learns what he seeks, it could undo this world.
Get torn on the line!
you